Well, we get a lot of complaints in the Wave 3 News Troubleshooter Department, but this is the first time we ever got a complaint about $1 million jewelry heist.
A brazen burglary we didn't even know about. It was never in the news. The complaint comes from the owners of the jewelry store. They say LMPD didn't try very hard to investigate, and they say it has something to do with who they are and where their business is. It starts with the flicker of a light turned on at 1:27 a.m. July 29th. Half an hour later, sparks and flames fly, glittering more brightly than the jewelry all around the store. Hours later, their work is done. Fast forward the security video to the moments of truth. Open the store, open the safe, open the grief.
They opened the safe and everything was gone. More than $1 million on jewelry.
What kind of jewelry?
Everything, chains, rings, charms, repairs. We had many repairs, everything.
Whoever it was knew exactly the layout.
More mind-boggling than the theft of $1 million in jewelry is the effort involved to steal it all.
They cut through here, and then immediately, like, they had so much time that they didn't throw this all over the place. They neatly stacked it on our workstation and then cut through the wall.
The thieves knew exactly what they were doing, cutting holes through multiple walls in multiple rooms, just missing large items like a toilet. So they had to come through the roof of the next door business, through this wall, through that wall, through the next wall into the safe.
Yeah.
After such an elaborate, brazen heist, the people who run La Illusion here at the Iroquois Manor Shopping Center thought it would be a solvable crime, but they were mystified and angered by the effort they experienced after they called LMPD.
She was like, there is nothing we can do.
They say police didn't check for fingerprints and didn't check their security cameras or those of other businesses around them at the shopping center.
I told her, there is cameras everywhere, you know, like in the main lobby. Maybe we can see something, you know. We have these cameras that take the whole parking lot and everything, and they didn't want to look at them.
All these businesses have cameras up there. I mean, it's just, you know, if they would have tried harder, they would have had maybe something. There was debris all over the place. They didn't fumble through none of that. They didn't check anything. They kind of just came over here, looked at it, and were like, oh, they were good at what they were doing.
They say the thieves left behind their extension cord and several blades used to cut through the walls and safe.
The extension cord was right, like I walked in and I was like, this isn't ours, you know, like where's this from? And then the blades were laying right next to the extension cord. I mean, it was very obvious, and they just didn't try.
So they tried to become their own detectives, taking the evidence left on scene around to different stores.
I took the green extension cord to Home Depot because it's a Home Depot brand, and I got with the loss prevention people, and I was like, if you have any leads, because we found extension cords and a couple of the saw blades that were used to go in the safe, and we were like, if these things were purchased together anywhere, just let us know, or here's our detective's information, you know, let him know.
They say after weeks of unreturned calls to their detective to try to get an update, they tried to go over his head.
And then I get, you know, finally a call back from the detective that was helping us out, and he was like, hey man, if you could please not call my sergeant, because it kind of looks bad on me.
To me, it is because we are Hispanic people. I mean, because we are in like a, not a rich neighborhood. Because they didn't care. I mean, to them, we are no one here.
You're saying if this was over at Oxmoor Mall,
yes,
they'd been treated differently?
Yes.
I relayed all of their concerns to LMPD. A police spokesman says no fingerprints were taken because there were handprints all over the counter. As for the other complaints about cameras not checked and evidence not pursued, I got no answers, and LMPD refused my request for an interview. The spokesman says the detective assigned to the case has been and will be out of the country until June 15th, and there are no new leads. An intricate heist in a part of town where they feel like public safety is an illusion.
I'm like, man, we kind of, you know, we lost just over $1 million of product and stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's a big loss, you know. We come to this country to work, you know, get a better future, and then we take a big loss, and then we just don't feel any support from law enforcement.
Unbelievable. Well, how big of a loss? Because I assume that they do have some sort of insurance to cover what was taken.
Well, they do have insurance. only up to $40,000, and they say, you know, we're from Cuba, we didn't really realize what we needed to do, and we messed up on that. So that's it, up to $40,000.
Well, maybe now that you've done this story, LMPD will go back and look again.
We will see.